Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mental Hub, where I, talk about some fun stuff. Even though it's not always fun, sometimes things cannot be fun. Sometimes things can just be stupid and messed up and disgustingly disgusting. And I was scrolling through Twitter on my laptop because I was bored. And, that's really all I have to do left is just scroll through a bunch of random ass videos and just, I don't know. And I mean, Twitter and Instagram is where I find a lot of the things that I talk about on here. Because, there's always something on there that you can talk about. And so I saw a video of, a girl, and her name is Kirra Hart. And she's a 14-year-old girl from Queensland, Australia. And this is where it gets really messed up, okay? She's from Australia, and she was invited to a sleepover by 3 girls who, she thought were her friends. And she was lured to a sleepover at one of their houses, and they decided that because she was a little bit bigger than other kids, which she really wasn't. She is a beautiful, beautiful young lady, and she's just absolutely gorgeous, and she did not deserve what happened to her. Honestly, no one does, and you'll see exactly why if you don't know the story at all yet. But those 3 girls who, Kirra thought were her friends, decided to torture her for hours. Multiple hours of just punching, stabbing. I mean, they stripped her of a bunch of her clothes. They were just absolutely going off on her. And not yelling. I saw the video that was going around, and there was literally a girl with a knife who was in charge of the stabbing. There was one girl who was in charge of the punching, and then the youngest of the 3 girls who was in charge of recording. So she was just, sitting on the bed, just watching all of this happen and recording it, and just not giving a fuck about the fact that they are torturing this poor, poor girl who just thought she was going to have some fun at a sleepover with people she thought were friends. And all of it happened really recently, and it just absolutely disgusted me to know that there are people out there who just torture people for fun. What is the point? You just got yourselves in trouble. And I'm pretty sure they're going to court real soon. I couldn't find anything about, what happened to the 3 girls. I guess family wanted to keep it a secret, maybe. I don't know. But it was an absolutely disgusting, disgusting thing. And I cannot believe that they did that to her. It's really messed up. Hold on, I'm going to take a quick drink break, because my throat's itchy. Alright, drink break is over. But, back to everything that happened with Kirra. It makes me really upset at the fact that these 3 girls were laughing. They seemed to be having fun torturing Kirra for several hours. Not just an hour and then they were done. No, it was several hours. And there was another video of one of the girls who was recording herself, and they were walking Kirra home, and they dropped her off at home, and then they just ran, and they were walking back, and one of the girls decides to take her phone out and start recording and saying something along the lines of, we just dropped Kirra off at home and we just got done torturing her. She literally used the word torture. It's not like I'm putting that word in. It's not like other people are putting that word in. No, it's her. She admitted on a video online, plus another video as proof, on the fact that those 3 girls were literally abusing and just torturing her. It makes me sick to my stomach to think that there are girls who, one of them, the girl recording, she was 11 years old. 11. I think one of the other girls was 13 and the other was 15. I mean, what kind of parent do you have to be to have a daughter who grows up at 11 and helps people torture someone? And like, even the girls that were doing the actual torturing, their parents had to be way worse. I mean, what did they see growing up? What did their parents teach them? Like, it cannot just be the kid's fault. This is the parents' fault at this point. Because if your kids are that young and torturing a poor girl for not looking the same as them or not acting the same, there is something wrong with your parenting technique, and you need to just not be a fucking parent. I mean, there is absolutely no way in hell you should be a parent if your kids are torturing people. It's messed up. You shouldn't have had kids, or you should have read a parenting book or something. Anything but doing whatever the fuck you did. Whether you loved your kid too much or not enough. You did something wrong, you fucked up along the lines, and now your kids are torturing this poor innocent little girl who has done absolutely nothing wrong. It's fucked up. And I don't know. It's really messed up. But I feel like that's just what happened. I mean, those kids were, I don't know, 6 through 8 when the pandemic started, I think. Sort of, in a way. Nope, my math is completely wrong. Well, no. Technically, the pandemic started in 2019. The end of 2019. So, yeah. They were just about 10. No older than that. And then the pandemic started, which gets me to something that I want to talk about, and something that one of my friends requested that I talk about on the podcast, which is just, life during the pandemic. But because I'm talking about Kirra first, I wanted to talk about, having friends in the pandemic, and, how hard it was to keep them, and really showing you, or, helping you find out who your real friends are. Because I have real friends, and then I had friends who weren't real, who just remind me a lot of these girls that abused Kirra. As a lot of you guys do know, I talked about it on my first episode. I did fail 9th grade 3 times, and then I dropped out. But in one of those 9th grade classes, I, was around a lot of immature children, but those were the only people I were around all day. So those were who I had to make friends with. And I was smoking in the bathroom, like I usually did, and I somehow stumbled across a bunch of kids in a stall. I was with 2 other friends, and I just became friends with one of them. Well, all of them, but I got really, really close with one of them, who then introduced me to their entire friend group, and I made friends with all of them. But the thing about being friends with people who are so much younger than you, because I was 2 or 3 years older than all of them, the thing about that is you're too mature for people like that, and they'll either find it as a mother type thing, or they're gonna find you as scary or threatening, And I honestly don't really remember what happened, but one of my rules with a lot of my friends is you don't lie to me, because I have been lied to growing up way too much to want it to happen in my friendships or any other relationships. And one of them, who I was closer with, she lied to me, and that just completely changed my view on our friendship, because I told her not to put a certain thing in food that she was making because I wanted a little bit. Just put a bowl off to the side and then add what you're gonna add. Remy, why? Why do you always have to drink? You know what? Actually, perfect time for a drink break because I'm thirsty again. Okay, drink break over. But, she was making food, and she was going to put a certain thing in there that I, couldn't really eat. And so I asked her if she could just put a little bowl off to the side of, because what she was adding was the last ingredient. It's not like it was mixed in first. It was very last. And I asked her if she could just put a little scoop to the side for me, and then, put in what she was putting in. She didn't do that. She lied to me about it and put what she was putting in anyway. And then I asked, are you sure you didn't put any in here? And she was like, yeah. She was lying about it. I could see her lying right through her teeth. She's not a good liar as much as she wanted to think she was. And we had another friend who I'm, again, not friends with anymore, who was sitting right there and also knew that the girl was lying to us, or to me. And so all I had to do was pick the bowl up, smell it, and look at her, and I was like, you put it in here, I can smell it. What's the point of lying? Why can't you just say, oh yeah, I forgot, I'm sorry, I'll make you something else, or you can find something else to eat, or, just apologize about it. I wouldn't have eaten. I wasn't really that hungry, I just wanted to save it for later. And she lied over and over again, straight to my goddamn face, which is my biggest pet peeve. Do not lie to me. There is no point. I'm not gonna get mad at you. There's literally no need to lie to me, because what am I gonna do? But when you do lie to me, that's when everything changes. That's when there's really there's no need. What's the point of me fighting for a friendship if you're just gonna lie to me? Because a very popular saying, once a liar, always a liar. And she did lie to me, and that wasn't the only time. It's just the biggest time that I can remember, and the only one that I really cared to remember, because this was months ago at this point. I don't remember anymore. But she did lie, and it, changed everything, and I couldn't see her the same, because she lied about something that was big to me. And so I, texted her, and I was like, hey, I'll always be here for you, but what you did was crossing a line, and, I don't know if I can be your friend anymore. And then she was like, it's okay, I understand, I get it, it's okay. And I was like, okay, we ended off on okay terms, everything's fine, I'll go to sleep. Because it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was tired, exhausted. It had been a few hours later since I texted her. And, I was just like, okay, because I was overthinking quite a bit. And I was just like, all right, we ended on good terms, everything's fine, we can chill in the bathroom with everyone else, just not alone, We can still be in the same friend group, everything should be fine. And then, the next day, I think it was a Saturday morning, because I remember not going to school, or I just either didn't go to school, because I didn't go to school a lot. I was a bad child. But I got a message from one of their friends. I wasn't really friends with her. Me and her did not get along too well. We got along a little bit, enough to not hate each other, but we weren't friends. And she texted me, and she was like, you're selfish for what you did to so-and-so. I'm just gonna call her, I don't know, what's a good fake name that I can call her? Lily. Let's call her Lily. It was really fucked up what you did to Lily. You're really selfish. And then just, absolutely grilling me for what I did to her. But what I did to Lily had absolutely nothing to do with this girl. Absolutely nothing. But, Lily always talked about how, personal things are personal, and how I shouldn't have been talking about it. But yet she went straight to this girl and told her everything, and then the girl attacked me online for it. I was just like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with any of this. So I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna save myself trouble and befriend Lily again, because that's probably the only way that I'm gonna get this girl to stop just being horrible to me. Because I didn't do anything to her personally. I mean, she always talked about how she hated Lily and how she wasn't friends with Lily, how she thought Lily was annoying. And I was just like, okay, then why are you attacking me? Because I brought it up. I was like, you always talk about how much you hate her, so why are you protecting her right now? And then she made it personal, talking about me and my past with self-harm and how I had scars that were always sticking out. But that's because I was comfortable in my body. I didn't give a fuck what other people thought about me. Great, you saw a little scar. It could have been self-harm. I could have, I don't know, cat scratch. I had a cat. I don't know. He had really long nails and he cut pretty deep. If I'm being completely honest. He cut my entire hand open. That shit hurt. Okay? Could have been my cat. My dog. She likes to think she's a lap dog and sit on me. She's cut my leg multiple times. But no. She just assumed that it was all self-harm, making it just more personal than it needed to be. And so I was just like, alright, I'm just gonna befriend Lily again and hope that this just ends, because I'm not dealing with this. Something that she has nothing to do with. She has absolutely no reason to be here. So I'll just save myself. And then, not even a week later, Lily and another girl that I was friends with, we can call her Grace. These are some weird ass names I'm coming up with. I don't know a Grace. I know a Lily, but I don't know a Grace. I don't know where I came up with that, but it's okay. But Grace and Lily, best friends. And, you know, I favored Grace more than Lily a little bit. But that's just because Grace knew more about what I was going through mental health-wise. Lily did not. She liked to think that she did. She didn't. So I favored Grace. But then Lily texted me and was like, you know, calling me a fake friend. Actually, I can pull up text messages. But both of them texted me the exact same day when I had my friend Allie over. Which, Allie is okay with me saying her name on here, so it's the only reason why I'm not giving her a fake name. But they both texted me the same day. Me and my friend Allie, we were getting boba right up the street from my house. We were just sitting there, and then I get text messages. And I was expecting them to be completely different, because I was expecting messages from someone. But it was just, like, not okay at all. It's kind of stupid. But, okay. So, I'm only going to read the first message, because I'm not in the mood to talk about all of it. So, she said, Elena, I love you so much, but this friendship has only gotten worse. I think it's best if we give each other space right now. You aren't the best friend, and you bring me down, so it's draining being your friend, and I feel like shit when I'm around you. You constantly only think about yourself, and you don't put my feelings into consideration, or at least it doesn't feel like it. I couldn't hold on to this any longer, but I'm done. Which, don't say at first, I think we need a little space, and then say, I'm done. That's not how that works. But then I just said, okay. That's it. And then, you know, that was it. I said, okay. She said, okay. I said, I hope you and Grace have a fun life. And then she said, already are, which she was just having attitude for absolutely no reason. Because I literally told them, like, I hope you have a fun life. Like, I wasn't having attitude. That was me genuinely meaning that. And then Grace's messages were worse. They were way, way worse. Because she just really hit hard. Very, very hard. But, you know, when it comes to being friends with people who are just so much younger than you, I don't know. Sorry, I just realized I was quiet for a while because I'm trying to read. Okay, so Grace said, Okay, listen, I'm sick of the way you make me feel. You only bring me down. Honestly, I love you, but I can't do it anymore. The shit you do and say can be so irritating and bring me so low. You make me miserable. I'm done. And then I K'd her too. And then she was just like, bye, with a bunch of emojis. And then we both got into some pretty bad fights and arguments, which then Grace brought up some pretty, to the heart things. Which, this was in the beginning of summer. Or no, the end of summer. This was the end of summer. Right before, so last summer. This was last summer. Hold on, I need another drink break. I don't know why when you're not talking to someone else, your throat just gets itchier. Is it just me? Or is that like other people? I don't know, but drink break real quick. Alrighty, I'm back. And for anyone wondering, I'm not drinking tea this time. I'm drinking, let's see, V8 Splash Tropical Blend. So I'm being healthy today. Sort of. I also have a bottle of Gatorade, because why not? But yeah, so we got into some arguments. And this was last summer. So, I had already planned on dropping out when I was 18 anyway. But then I guess my parents just gave up and just let me do it anyway. But that caused my mental health to get way worse because at the beginning of the pandemic, you're home alone, and if anyone remembers from, I think 2 podcast episodes ago, I got out of the mental hospital for the last time right before the pandemic started. So I had already had really, really bad mental health problems. And I don't know if you know, but staying home alone and having absolutely no one to talk to makes it way, 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 way worse. For everyone. It wasn't just me. I'm not saying it was just me. Everyone. Like, there was no one who was happy during the pandemic. At least, not after the first few months. During the first few months, I was happy. I was like, fuck yeah. No school. No having to go out. I can go like 3 weeks without showering and not giving a fuck. And then, fucking months passed. And you're like, oh, shit. Like, you can't leave your house. You can't go to school. You can't go hang out with your friends. There's a curfew where I live. Like, shit's getting real. And so the pandemic just caused my existing mental health issues to get way, way worse. Which, for anyone who doesn't know, I have depression, anxiety, PTSD, ADD, which is like ADHD, but without the hyperactive, because I'm not that hyper, and an eating disorder called ARFID, which ARFID stands for Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder, and which I'll talk more about ARFID in a little bit, because I want to get to the first things. But yeah, my depression got really bad. I wouldn't get out of bed for days. I wouldn't do anything except getting up to get like a little snack, going to the bathroom, and then I'd just come right back in here and I would just sleep. I would lay down, I would watch TV, I would watch movies. I wouldn't do anything. And it was bad because with my depression comes my anxiety, which is like, I just hyperfixate on everything. I overthink everything. Like, I overthought dying all the time. Like, not killing myself. Just dying randomly in my sleep. I don't know why. It wasn't good. Didn't have a good time. But my PTSD didn't get too much worse. That just, stayed how it was. But this was when I was friends with Lily and Grace. And I was sleeping over at Lily's house. And the original friend who I met in the bathroom, we can call her, I don't know. I'm just going to say Georgie because that's the only name I can think of right now. So Georgie. I don't know. It's a pretty gender neutral name because they were also gender neutral-ish. But, the way that we would all sleep over, we would sleep over at Lily's house. And so Lily and, God, I forgot her name. You know who I'm talking about. They were on the floor. Don't know why. They just felt more comfortable down there. And then me and Georgie were on the bed. And my PTSD stems from being sexually abused, which primarily only happened in my sleep. So I would wake up to blankets being pulled off of me. But because I was young and terrified, I had sleep paralysis. So I could not move, couldn't open my eyes, couldn't talk. All I could do was breathe and let it happen. Which, wasn't easy for me to deal with. But whenever I was sleeping somewhere else, I had, underlying sleep paralysis. Which, sleep paralysis comes with very vivid dreams. So for the first, 2 years of the sexual abuse happening, I didn't know that it was actually happening. I thought they were just really vivid dreams. But long story short, I didn't find out it was happening until I woke up with my underwear completely pulled down, but my pants pulled up. Which, I move around a lot in my sleep. I'm not gonna lie, I do. But I have never, ever, ever had something like that happen to me. Before that, after that, it's never happened. Ever. My underwear was pulled down to my knees, and my pants were pulled up. And it was, the most awkward thing to wake up to. But that's where my PTSD stems from, is things happening in my sleep. So, Georgie woke up before me, and I was just sleeping. And Georgie pulled the blanket off me slowly, which is a trigger for me. And I jolted awake, terrified. And Georgie was like, "Oh my God, are you okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you." And I was like, No, it's okay. You just triggered me a little bit. It's all fine." And then I had to explain to all of them because I forgot that they didn't know what happened to me. So then I was like, well, fuck. Now I have to explain to them what happened. Didn't give them too much detail until later on. I just told them the basics. And yeah, then, they still treated me the same, which was awesome. But, that's where my PTSD stems from. And since I was sleeping alone, my PTSD was fairly good. I didn't have to worry about anyone sneaking into my room and pulling the blankets off me. And my ADD was horrible because school was online. And I couldn't focus in regular school, let alone having to wake myself up, stay in bed, get on a Chromebook, open it up, log on to class. You think I'm doing all that shit at 7 o'clock in the morning on my own fucking bed? No, you fucking idiots. No, I'm not doing that shit. I'm going to sleep as soon as I log on to that class. I'm not paying attention to you. I'm going to sleep. Another drink break because my throat's really itchy. Oh my God. Okay. So, I'm realizing now that I've been recording for almost 30 minutes. So this podcast is going to be a longer one. So for my friend who requested that I talk about my life or just life in the pandemic, I hope you enjoy the longer video. So, I did this for you because I know you like listening to them while you're doing stuff. So, I did this for you. But back to what I was talking about, the fun little topics. Yeah, fuck those teachers. Fuck them. Okay, I'm not logging on to class. I mean, I did good for the first few weeks because my mommy woke me up. But that was it. After I was my mom was like, "Okay, you need to wake your own ass up. I'm not doing this shit for you. I gotta go to work." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Have fun." So I would just wake up tiny little bit from my alarm, realize, oh shit, gotta log on to class. Open my Chromebook, which was always right next to me because I used it to charge my phone because there was no outlet next to my bed. Now I have an extension cord wrapping around my bed. Super fun. But I just opened it, turned it on, pressed the link. That was it. Made sure the camera and the mic were off and went right the fuck back to sleep. But it was one of those sleeps where you're you can still pay attention to what's going on around you, but you're still getting rest. You're still sleeping. You can just wake up at any moment, So I let all that happen, and then as soon as class ended, I would wake up, go to the next class, go right back to sleep. Go right the fuck back to sleep. Because I'm not paying attention to what the fuck you're saying. It's gym. How can you have gym over the computer online? What do you think I'm gonna do? Do a bunch of burpees on my bedroom floor? Like, no. I'm not doing that shit. Leave me alone. Let me sleep. So anyway, that was happening. So my ADD, horrible, got way worse. Still can't really focus on anything. If I'm talking to you mid-sentence, I'll just drift off and look at something flying. Like, I look at dust a lot because I also have, like, a problem with, like, eye contact. I can't look at you in the eyes. I don't know. Especially if I'm, like, attracted to you. I'm not looking you in the eyes. At least not for long. Or I'm gonna, I don't know, suffer through it and look you in the eyes because you're talking to me and I want you to like me. But most of the time, not looking you in the eye. Leave me alone about it, okay? Leave me alone. It's not happening. So, you know, I'll just stare at dust flying in front of my face. Or, I don't know, there's a little bird flying outside the car window. Literally anywhere but your eyes. Because that's just what happens when you have an attention disorder where you can't pay attention. You'll look anywhere but there. And I have a fidget ring. If you could hear that. It's just chain in a little piece of metal. It helps a little bit with my anxiety mostly. Because it's like a fidget ring for my anxiety. But it does help me focus a little bit on conversation. So I'll just start spinning it. Or I'll take it off and then put it back on upside down. Like, I'll take it off and then I'll flip it the other way, put it back on. I don't know. It makes me feel better. Don't judge. But yeah. So, you know, that's how the pandemic really, I don't know, affected those mental health issues of mine. But when I was in Horsham, which was the mental hospital I was in, I was diagnosed with an eating disorder, but they didn't know which one, because my symptoms that, like, they found and that I could explain to them didn't add up. And ARFID is also fairly new. It's mostly in kids, but they've been seeing it in adults, which is why they're saying it's fairly new. It's really not that new. It's been happening for a long time, hun. Not that new. Don't try and be special. It's not that new. But, I don't know. People think that, like, all eating disorders stem from body image issues. But my ARFID stems from a fear, not weight issues. It stems from my fear of choking and puking, and then inevitably having to start eating all over again. Which, I may not seem like it, but throwing up after eating is one of my biggest fears, and it's been happening for a long time because I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was going on, so I would just, like, eat until my stomach was so full that I just had to throw up. I had to. Like, I couldn't help but do it, and, like, the thought of eating some food would make me want to throw up. Like, it would physically make my stomach hurt. And the smell of some foods, I would literally gag. Like, my dad would make, like, cheesesteaks, but, like, at home, and I couldn't be near the kitchen while he was making it. But one time I had to stand in there and talk to him, and I literally could not. I couldn't. I had to stand by the door and be away from that stove. Like, that's just how bad that part can get. But a lot of other symptoms of ARFID that not many people, you know, acknowledge or know about is, like, a sudden refusal to eat. Like, I'll feel so hungry. Like, I'll feel so starved, but I won't eat. And it's not like a depression, like, oh, I'm just not gonna eat. No. Like, I genuinely don't want to eat. Like, there's nothing that I can find that I'm in the mood to eat. The only thing that I'm always in the mood to eat is fresh fruit. That's it. But, like, I can't have something sweet if I want something savory, or vice versa. If I want something savory, it needs to be savory. And my parents also don't understand that a whole lot. Because, like, I'll tell them, like, I'll go in there and I'm like, you know, like, what's for dinner? Because I'm hungry. And they'll be like, go find something in the kitchen to make. And do they really think that I haven't looked through all those cabinets, the fridge, the freezer, to find something, anything that doesn't make my stomach hurt? Like, are they really? You think I didn't do that? But like sometimes all I'm craving is like a taco. But not Taco Bell taco. I'm talking about like real authentic tacos. Okay? And then sometimes I want, I don't know, a quesadilla or a burrito from Wawa because I'm a basic white bitch. But like at the same time, sometimes I just want something sweet. Like I want pastry, like cake or cupcakes or cookies. But we barely ever have something like that in the house because, for anyone who doesn't know, I have a twin brother, an older brother, who both live here, and then my older sister who does not live here anymore. But I live with two brothers. One just turned 20, and the other one's my twin brother, so he's 17. They eat like monsters. They eat everything. Literally everything. If there's food in the cabinet and I like it, like my mom will bring home like big boxes of granola bars, I will stuff my pockets with granola bars. Leave enough for them, obviously, because I'm nice. But if you leave that box unattended for an hour, gone. All of it, gone. Just absolutely gone. So I'll stuff my pockets with food, like a fucking squirrel getting ready to hibernate. And then I'll go into my little hidey hole. I don't know. I'll come back in my room. I'll put it on my bed underneath my pillow so that if my brothers decide they want to be douchebags and go through my room, they're not going to find my stash of food. Because I really like food. I don't know. But if there was any food, I also have like a cosmetic fridge, like a little tiny fridge. I would put yogurts in there. Because like I really liked yogurt for a while. But like it had to be Chobani, like peach or strawberry yogurt, or I won't eat it. Well, I'll try it. I like trying food, which a lot of people don't really, they assume because I have an eating disorder that I'm not going to want to try new food. I'm always down to try that weird green sludge that your mom made. Always. Not saying that I'll like it or I'll eat all of it, because that's just how I am. But I will try it. And so, you know, my mom brought home these weird, like, whole milk yogurt, which Greek yogurt, not whole milk yogurt. For anyone who doesn't know, whole milk yogurt is more liquidy and stringy. Like, it's like jizz. It's like eating milky jizz. Okay? It's gooey, it's runny, but it's also stringy, and it's sticky. And if you put it on your finger, it's like glue. It's like thicker paper mache, like liquid. Glue and water with like cornstarch in it. That's what that yogurt was like. I could not eat it. I told my mom, it's good, because it tasted good. It's just I am a huge texture person. And if something does not tickle my taste buds the right way, it's coming up. It's coming right up. And I'm trying so hard not to gag just thinking about that goddamn gooey, cummy yogurt. But it was strawberry and it was good. It tasted yummy. But it's the texture. Oh my god, the texture. It's bad. It's so bad. Oh god, I got a cough. Okay, while I take another drink break and a cough break, you're gonna get my little interruption thing. So enjoy that. Hello everybody, just wanted to quickly interrupt and ask that you like, subscribe, and share any of these videos. You know, the whole channel if you want, just a little itty bitty tidbit of one of the episodes. Anything that you can do to get my name around would help a lot. So anything that you are willing to do to help, whether that's just leaving a like or subscribing, just makes my whole day. So thank you. You can get back to your video now. Alrighty, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little thing, and I really think that you should listen to Pastelina, because she's smart. She has some good ideas. Okay? Smarty pants. Smarty pants. Anyway. So, back to ARFID, because I'm done with that yogurt. Okay, done with the cummy yogurt. We're getting away from that. But more symptoms of ARFID, and these are only my symptoms. I'm not talking about general symptoms. These are ones that I go through. But it's the refusal to eat, or the sudden loss of appetite, which is sudden, or, which is one that isn't talked about a whole lot, just no appetite for absolutely no reason, which I was talking about a little bit earlier, like how, like, I'm just, like, I'm hungry, like, I'm starving, but I can't find anything I want to eat. That's just not having an appetite for no reason. Absolutely no reason. There's no reason that I'm not hungry. It's nothing medical. It's not my depression, and I know that for a fact, because I know when I'm not hungry because of my depression or because I'm just not hungry. Or, you know, ARFID. You get what I'm trying to say. But it's not my depression. It's me wanting to eat, me getting up, going to the kitchen, searching for something that I could eat. But sometimes you're just, like, too weak and you can't cook. Like, I don't want to stand there and wait for the water to boil and then put the pasta in the pot and then wait 7 fucking minutes for that damn pasta to cook and then drain it. Although you get a nice facial out of it, so I do appreciate that. You know, my pores really thank the pasta for that. But then I gotta drain it, and then I gotta put a little bit of sauce in the pan, and then I gotta heat that up a little bit, and I gotta put the pasta right back in. I'm hungry, in case you can't tell. But like I'm talking about right now, there's nothing in this damn house I want to eat. And you know what I don't have? Money. So you know what I can't buy? Food that I want to eat. But it's okay. I'll just force my father to take me out to Wawa tomorrow. It's okay. But another little symptom of ARFID is eating very slowly. Because again, it stems from a fear of choking. So you eat slowly to make sure that you're not going to choke, you're not going to throw up. You eat very tiny amounts to make sure you don't overfill your stomach. Which, I eat a lot for how I'm sounding. Like, I do eat a lot. Like, it's not just, like, you know, me not eating for, like, a full day. Which sometimes I do, but that's my depression. I won't eat for, like, a week straight. I'll have, like, little snacks here and there, but I won't have a meal. And then I'll, like, have, like, the end of the week, I'll just eat. And eat and eat and eat. I'll binge eat whatever I can find. But because my ARFID is mixed with that, it's just a lot of pasta. Primarily. Pasta and, I don't know, sometimes my mom brings home muffins, so I eat a lot of muffins. But, we eat very slowly. And another thing that comes from eating very slowly is not being able to finish the amount of food that you were given or that you got. Because sometimes my dad will bring home pizza, which, one of my favorite foods in the world. I love pizza. Pizza, yummy. Yummy pizza. And I'll grab 2 slices. 2 little slices, which I have eaten a full pizza once. So I know that I can eat 2 slices. And I feel hungrier than I actually am. So I feel like I could eat that whole pizza. But I pace myself. Get 2 slices. And then I get back in my room. I sit down, I'm excited for my pizza, I put on my show, and I start watching it, and then I eat a piece of pizza, and I'm like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm not in the mood to eat pizza after this one goddamn bite. But then I'm like, you know what? Fuck my body, fuck my brain, I want this pizza, right now, okay? I want it. So I keep trying to eat it. But then, I'm getting that little rumbly in my tumbly. You know what that means? I'm gonna throw up. Or it feels like it could come at any moment. If I take another bite, spewing all over my goddamn bed. So, what I do is I put the pizza down, wait about an hour, go back to the cold, hard pizza, and then I eat it. But you don't get the enjoyment out of when it's fresh and, you know, the cheese is just coming off of it and it's just like stringy and delicious. Because, like, I have a toaster oven that you can reheat pizza in, but it's not the goddamn same. It's not. Reheated pizza, while still delicious, not the same. I don't give a fuck who says it is. It's not. Really not. And don't try and convince me. I don't give a fuck. But the last little tidbit of symptoms I have is having real bad trouble eating either in public, out with your friends, or in with your friends, or just in front of family members. Because, like, I do have trouble eating in front of family members more than I do alone, because, you know, that pizza happens to me all the time with everything. So I have to bring, like, sandwich bags into my room, so that I can put my food in there and then save it before I'm done. Like, I have, like, a sandwich bag of biscuits and a little bag of butter that I squeeze onto the biscuits. Don't ask, okay? Just please don't. But, recently it was Easter, and what comes before Easter is Seder, which is just the Jews, which I'm Jewish, it's just the Jews thanking Moses for saving them from slavery. So, you know, we were celebrating that, and I had a guy friend over, which he's probably watching this. Hello, guy friend. I love you. He's not my boyfriend. I just love him. Don't worry about it. Anyway, he was over, and then I had my cousin Phoenix, and then my aunt, my uncle, my mom, and my dad, my two brothers. Typical. Normal. You know. I don't know. My Nana and Pop-Up live in, you know, New York, so they can't just come down here whenever they want. You know, sad, but it's true. So, you know, and one of the staples of Seder is the matzo ball soup, which is my absolute fucking favorite. I fucking love matzo ball soup. Okay? It's good. It's yummy. It's just a ball of matzah, which is just unrisen bread for anyone who doesn't know. It's just a fucking cracker. It's a cracker made into a ball and then put into broth. Make soup. Mix. Put carrots. Put potatoes. Mix. Matzo ball soup. Delicious. Okay? Delicious. Although my mother did over-season a little bit, but it's better than us being typical white assholes and not seasoning it at all. Okay? We got lucky that time. But I ate like half my matzah, which the balls aren't that big. They're about the size of a meatball, maybe a little bit bigger. I ate half of it, and I couldn't eat anymore. And it's not because my family was there. I can eat in front of them easier, but it's because my guy friend was there. Now, it's not anything on him. He did nothing wrong. He was amazing. He was a sweetheart. We hung out after. Everything was fine. I ate a lot of Jell-O. The Jell-O was delicious. But it was the mix of him being there and, you know, me and him not hanging out very often, and then my family. Those mixed together, and me being at the end of the table. I don't know why the fuck I sat there, but I was at the end of the table. So all they had to do was look over and they would just see me. Right there. Terrifying. Okay? Fucking terrifying. So, everyone just had to kind of turn their eye a little bit and they see me. Terrifying. So, my anxiety, you know, stems from my fear of choking as well. A little bit. Because I don't want to choke in front of them. Especially not my guy friend. I don't want to choke in front of him. So I did everything in my goddamn power. Remy, please. Mommy is recording. Okay. She's disrespectful. So I'm going to take a water break too. Because I'm twisty. Okay, I'm sorry. We're back. I'm back. But, I don't want to choke in front of my guy friend. I don't want to throw up in front of my guy friend. Don't want anything to happen. We're going to call him Henry. God damn it, Remy. Okay, just ignore her. We're going to call him Remy. We're not going to call him Remy. We're going to call him Henry. I'm not going to feel like editing that out, so you're just going to have to listen to me argue with myself for a little bit. But, Henry, I don't want to throw up or choke in front of Henry or my family. So, took the tiny little bites, mostly just soup, because water helps when you're swallowing something, like a pill, to keep you from choking. So, it was a lot of the broth with, like, a tiny little piece of the ball with, like, a little carrot on it, because the carrots were good. And I got halfway through it before we were just done, and I was just like, oh, okay. And then my aunt, my uncle, my cousin left. And then, you know, me and Henry were just there on my couch in my living room, just hanging out, which was okay. We had fun. At least I did. I don't know about him. And that was just the end of that. But that was like a terrifying time. Like, I cannot eat in front of family or friends unless I'm like very, 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 very close to you. Very, very close. There are like 2 friends that I can eat in front of at the moment. 3. There are 3 friends that I can eat in front of at the moment without being scared of choking or throwing up or dying. So, and yes, Allie is one of them. But, you know, when it's friends mixed with family, a million times worse. But another thing about ARFID, which I feel like is just messed up. I feel like this is like heart attacks in women. They're just like, oh, it's just period cramps. Or when their appendix bursts and you're like, oh no, you're just on your period. Everything's fine. A lot of doctors won't diagnose ARFID if a person's symptoms can like be explained by cultural practices or like a lack of access to food. Or like if the weight loss can be explained by a physical condition or any other mental health disorder. Which, a symptom of mine that I completely forgot to mention, my weight fluctuates way too much. Like, I can go from 115 pounds, take a piss, and then be 99 pounds. In the span of 2 minutes. Because when I'm hungry and I can't find something to eat, I drink water. Which, you know, that's what people do. They chew gum, they drink water. So I don't know why, I think my bladder is bigger than my stomach at this point. Because I can carry a lot of water. A lot. But I can't carry that much food. It really fucking sucks. It also sucks that I'm lactose intolerant because I can't eat that much stuff anyway. It sucks. But yeah, so doctors won't diagnose it if there's literally anything else that can explain it. They'll just be like, oh, okay, that's what it is. Here's some pills that'll help with that. And then when those pills don't work, they're scared to go back to the doctor because the doctor didn't diagnose them correctly and they don't want to stand up for themselves, which honestly understandable because I'm the exact same way. It's hard. But like, stand up for yourself. Because, you know, you shouldn't be misdiagnosed because a doctor decides to be an idiot. Like, if you're a woman out there and you are having really bad pains in your side and you know your period cramps, you know your own cramps, if you know that they aren't your cramps, you go to every doctor you can until one of them checks you out properly. Because if you have a feeling in your gut, you trust that bitch, alright? You trust that feeling in your gut because that's the only person who will tell you the truth. And do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Because I've been misdiagnosed. It's not fun, not easy to deal with. Just don't let people do it to you. Don't let people bring you down because they're deciding to be an idiot. Or as Bobby Singer from Supernatural, my favorite show, likes to say, don't let them be an idiot, alright? There's no point. Just fucking go somewhere else. If they're not giving you the proper treatment, leave. Go somewhere else. And that counts for anyone, for any sort of reason. If it's a toxic friend, toxic doctor, toxic family member, get out of there. Just leave. Because I heard a quote, or like, not really a quote, it was like a conversation that someone had where there was a little boy who got his foot stuck in like a draining grate, and there was a flood, and the water was rising, but the boy was stuck. And after a while, people tried to help him, but he drowned. If it were you, and it was happening to you, you'd say, just cut the foot off. You wouldn't let yourself drown. You would just automatically be like, just cut it off. Cut that bitch off. Which pretty much means, if something isn't right in your life, something's not going well, something's not right, something's toxic, something's literally killing you, it's okay to cut off a part of yourself to get rid of that toxic thing. Because it just shouldn't be in your life. And if cutting off a little piece of yourself is what you have to do, do it. Just do it. You can always get that piece back. You can be like a starfish and you can grow it back. You can find a way. And I promise you, you can. Everything always works out in the end, even though I feel like a lot of people say that. It's true. I was a lot worse with my mental health before. But with the help of a lot of people and a lot of people just helping me out, being around me, having someone to talk to, it really helps, okay? So just cut off the things that aren't treating you the way that you should be treated. And find clarity and shelter in the things that do. And if that just happens to be my podcast, that's what I'm here for. That's the whole reason that I'm here. But that's just going to conclude today's episode. We had a little bit of ups and downs. We were talking about something depressing in the beginning. Then we got a little funny with the cum yogurt. And then we got a little more depressing with the cutting off the foot. But just be yourself. Don't let anyone bring you down for that. Don't let anyone judge you for it. Do not let anyone bring you down for being who you are. And if you don't like who you are, keep changing until you find the person that you like. Because it doesn't matter what other people like. It matters what you like, who you're comfortable with, who you're comfortable with being. It took me a long time to get comfortable with who I am. How I look, how I act, how I talk, how I do literally anything. And I'm still not 100% okay with who I am. But the point is that I like myself for who I am. If other people think I'm annoying, cool. I'm sorry I annoy you, but it's just who I am. I grew up with a friend who did not treat me well, which is sort of linked to the sexual assault, or abuse, both technically the same thing, depending on how you read the situation. But they're linked, so, if you want me to do a whole story time about that and have, a separate little podcast about my entire background with all that stuff, let me know in the comments and I'll make the video, which I am completely comfortable with doing. I am completely comfortable with putting it out there. It's not illegal for me to be talking about because I did take him to court, and I won, so I can legally talk about it. So if you guys want to know what happened to me and you guys want more context and you guys just want to know, let me know. And I will make a whole video about it as soon as I see at least one comment that says, and if you don't want to know, don't watch the video. I'll put the title, obvious to know what I'm talking about. And then obviously, like I do with any video that I have trigger warning needed, I'll put a trigger warning. I always do. They're in the little, the description. Always there. Unless I forgot one, which I'm very sorry, and I will fix it if I did. Just let me know. But that is the end of this podcast episode. I got the hiccups. Are you kidding me? Goddamn fucking hiccups. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I am recording this on a Thursday. No, Friday. Sorry. Friday morning. So this will be posted Friday night. So just let me know and have a good week coming ahead. Good night, everybody.